Hey guys, Luke here, and I'm here to preview Friday night football for round 22. There's two games at night, obviously, and we're going to start it off with the Rabbitohs taking on the Manly Sea Eagles. So it's at 7:40 p.m. At the SCG. I'm not sure the reason behind the SCG holding it, rather than a stadium where Rabbitohs usually play. But whatever, we're going to go into the team lineups. Greg Inglis, Alex Johnson, Dylan Walker, Keiran, Arval, Lottie Takiri, Luke Keary, Adam Reynolds, George Burgess, Isaac Luke, Dave Tyrrell, Carl Turner, Ben Teo, Sam Burgess, and the benches: Jason Clark, Ben Lowe, Chris McQueen, Tom Burgess, and 18th man is Luke Burgess. Go to the Sea Eagles side. At fullback there were Brett Stewart, George Tafua, Jamie Lyon, Stephen Matai, Peter Hiku, Kieran Foran, Daly Cherry-Evans, Josh Starling, Matt Ballin, Brenton Lawrence, Anthony Watmo, Tom Simons, and Jamie Bura. And on the bench is Jesse Sena-Lafeo, Justin Horrow, James Hassan, and Jason King. Now, I think this will be a top game, a top game. Both sides have been in great form lately. Rabbitohs especially smashing the Knights. Although it is the Knights, and Wayne Bennett had some comments saying that all the teams know how to beat Rabbitohs. I understand what he's saying. They know how to beat them. It's just put them into effect. It's just two different things. I suppose if you could say that a lot of the teams know how to beat each other. It's just coming up, like actually producing on the day. So I don't know where Bennett was going there, but yeah. So Rabbitohs very good last week. Once again, no Sutton, but Keary seems to be doing a pretty good job. I didn't see the Rabbitohs game. Didn't see the Sea Eagles game last week either, but they picked up another win, so it's good for them. It's come to the finals, and you know they're always good coming up to the finals. But a big loss for them. Glenn Stewart will not be returning this year, so they're going to have to stick it out with Jamie Bura at lock, it seems. Well, at least that's the rumours going around that Glenn Stewart won't be back for the rest of this year. So the reason I said that is just they've been playing Jamie Bura there, but being like, oh well, Glenn Stewart's going to be back next week, but it seems like he's not going to be back next week, so yeah, they're going to have to accept that Jamie Bura is their lock. Although I think he's been playing pretty well at lock, to be honest, from the games I've seen. So he's not doing too bad of a job. I like to make fun of Jamie Bura, but I think it's like the last year or so, he's come in to be a pretty good player. Rabbitohs, I think Inglis once again carries them. I haven't seen too much of Keary. Everyone keeps talking him up. I don't know if he lives up to the hype or not, but he must be doing something right if they keep talking about him. Usually if they hype someone up and he plays a few shit games and then they just stop because they're embarrassed. And it hasn't happened to him yet, so he must be on alright. Key matchups, I'd say the fullback. Obviously the halves are going to be a good one. You've got the Cherry-Evans and Foran, two superstar players up against Reynolds and Keiran. Pretty much an up-and-coming sort of pair. I mean, Reynolds have been around for a little while, but not that long. And then the forward pack's going to be a good battle. Both aren't outstanding forward packs. A lot of youngsters or people who haven't, they're not real superstars, but they're kind of good enough to be playing NRL. Apart from like the Burgess and Hoffman and all that. So, but I'm expecting a Manly win. I think they'll be too good. They'll grind it out. Yeah, Rabbitohs had a good performance last week, but it was against the Knights, and Knights were pretty terrible. They have been terrible over the last year, I should say. So it's hard to judge, and it is hard for teams coming off a big win like that against an easy opponent to step it up the next week against a really tough side like Manly. So yeah, I'm predicting a Manly win, probably 1-12, I'd say. So we're going to get on to the next game, which is the Broncos versus the Bulldogs, and it's a big grudge match for obvious reasons. So it's at Suncorp Stadium, 7:40 or so. I'd assume it's delayed on Channel 9 for New South Wales viewers. So we go into the team lineups. We've got Josh Hoffman, Daniel Vito, Dale Copley, Jack Reed, Lachlan Maranta, Ben Barba, Ben Hunt, Josh Maguire, Andrew McCullough, Corey Parker, Alex Glenn, Matt Gillett, Sam Thaiday, and then on the bench we've got Jake Granville, Todd Lowry, Ben Hennett, Corey Oates and Martin Kennedy. For the Bulldogs we've got Sam Perrott, Corey Thompson, Josh Morris, Tim Laffey, Mitch Brown, Josh Reynolds, Trent Hodkinson, Sam Casiano, Michael Ennis, James Green, Josh Jackson, Tony Williams, Greg Eastwood, and then their bench is Aidan Tolman, Dale Finucane, David Clemmer, Lloyd Parrott, and then 18th man is Moses Umba. Oh, that'll be 19th man I should say, Moses Umba. Now this side, two big returns for the Bulldogs, that being Josh Morris and Aidan Tolman. I think a lot of people seem to they underestimate Aiden Tolman. I know a lot of Bulldogs fans don't. Well, actually, some of them do. But he gets through a lot of work in the middle, which allows the big guys like Casiano and stuff to just be at the big impact players that they are, rather than have to sort of, oh, how do I put it? Instead of just going it all out like they would if they were impact player, they have to try and make sure they last the 20-30 minutes that they would, because Tolman's there. Tolman's not there to do all the little clean-up work. Same way as a person like David Stagg or something, or Sean Fenson. Without them, the big forwards, they really struggle. James Graham is good, but having Graham and Tolman is what makes the Bulldogs good, and that sort of stuff. And then Josh Morris, him returning, you would think that the defence will... Oh, also Chase Stanley's out as well, with Mitch Brown coming in. So Josh Morris and Mitch Brown probably be back on the left-hand side, with Hodkinson moving it from the right to the left, which should tighten things up with the defence. Everything will be back to normal. A lot of people have been saying how bad the right-hand defence is, but they haven't pointed out that, like, with all the injuries and stuff over Origin and everything, Bulldogs have had to shift their whole defensive line, like swap sides. Like Hodkinson's a left, he defends on the left-hand side, but because Tony Williams, the left-handed side player as well, and he'd been playing 5'8", Hodkinson had to move to the right. And then when Reynolds came back, they stayed there for some reason. Maybe because Josh Morris hasn't been back. So Josh Morris, as everybody knows, is a great player. The last game he played for the Bulldogs was against the Warriors, and he pulled off a try saver on Sean Shelton. So it shows he is a great defensive centre. I'd say nowadays he's more of a defensive centre than an attacking centre. So yeah, should be good to see. Now we got the elephant in the room here is Ben Barba, taking on his former club. The last time they played, Broncos pulled off the victory. It wasn't that convincing to me, but at the same time, Bulldogs pretty shit, but Broncos weren't that good. But Barba did pick up a few try assists and all that, so he has the potential to turn it on. Although he hasn't been very good this year, we all know the potential. He has the potential to just explode, and chances are, well, as Bulldogs fans will know, so I'm not going to try and say I'm not biased here, because I am biased. This will be a bias for the Bulldogs game, because it's just, you can't do it unbiased when you support a team. But a lot of the former players like Billy Mason and Sonny Bill, when like you think, oh, they're gonna smash the old player, they just come back and then they just destroy us. Now Barba's got one up on us this year. I honestly can't see it happening again. I think Bulldogs have a pretty good record at Suncorp Stadium, and they're on a 3-match losing streak, so things need to change, and they need to change quickly. And with the return of Tolman and especially Josh Morris is the main one, and Josh Reynolds having another game under his belt since his return from suspension. I think Bulldogs be too strong. Broncos don't have a bad side. They just don't seem to have put it together this year. So I'm predicting a Bulldogs win, but at the same time I predicted Bulldogs to win the last 3 games and they lost them too. So take it for what you will. So yeah, let's come to the end of the episode, or end of the video I should say. If you disagree, don't get too upset or anything. It's just a prediction. There's nothing too bad about it. I hope your team wins this weekend, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.